What's happening, everybody? Sam, Real Res Talk. Just me tonight. I'll try and keep it brief because honestly, I don't want to go over that too many times or with a fine tooth comb because there wasn't much to sort of enjoy or analyze really in terms of like what we did right, what we did so many things. United have lost 2-0 to Wolves at Molineux. It's the fifth loss in December. Which I think is an equally abysmal record as of last year as well. Um, no desire from the part of the players, no fight, no strong will, no mentality, no quality. Attack was dead, midfield was dead, defense was dead. Like, everything was just horrible. Just every single piece of it, like today. Obviously Mateus Cunha looked absolutely excellent. People saying, "Oh, he's auditioning for a job at United. Why the fuck would he want to come here after that shit show? Like, if I was him, I would not come anywhere near this team." Um, there's been a massive failure at Old Trafford with the sort of decisions that were made in the summer, extending Ten Hag's contracts, squad building, all that sort of stuff. Half of these players just aren't good enough. They're just not. This is not suited for the Premier League. They haven't got the desire. They haven't got the mentality to be good enough in this league. There's probably about three, maybe four that could stick around. But honest to God, if we put the whole squad up for sale in January or summer, I wouldn't be opposed to it because every week now we're just seeing the same thing, and it's not on the manager. It's not on the manager. This is on the players. Like, this is 100% on the players. And Adam Joseph on Twitter sort of made a really good point. Um, in the past, when you'd sort of get transfers wrong or buys wrong and things like that, you could just go out and buy a new one because PSR and FFP wasn't a thing. But now, because of that, you can't just buy your way out of it. Like, you can't just go out and go, "Oh, get this player, sell him," and not worry about the consequences. Now you have to get these transfers 100% right. And the smaller teams like Bournemouth, like Brighton, Fulham, they're getting it right because they're not spending absolute shit tons of money on players, but they're picking the right players for the right system, the mentality, correct sort of thinking, and again everything lined up. And we've not done that for years. We've just gone out and go, "We'll buy this superstar, that'll fix it." Sancho, Casemiro, Cavani, Ronaldo. Like, we'll go out and buy a superstar and it'll fix it. And it doesn't. It just provides what you've just seen today. Um, we've got massive games coming up. Newcastle, which they looked absolutely fantastic against Villa and battered them. I've got a feeling we're going to be on a hiding against them. And then shortly after that, Liverpool, which I don't even want to think about, to be honest with you, because that's going to be a bloodbath, I'd imagine. I can't see us doing anything but getting absolutely whooped in that game. Andy Williams in the chat. Hoyland is a load of rubbish. Don't want to hear any more nonsense. Daniel Fairclough, City and United, up and down. Both teams lose points. Me love Manchester City and Manchester United. I am guessing you are a Liverpool fan, Daniel. Guess. Dropping punts. Um, Random guy on Anna's back to his prime. Bruno has been sent off 3 times this season. We are rubbish. I'm going to touch on today's game. Another reminder how badly we've been running the last few years. Yeah. Random guy. Absolutely. Yeah. I Bruno Fernandes, like, I think the 2 yellows that he got were maybe a little bit soft. Maybe. But I don't think you can argue to a point where it's an absolute robbery where you're like, no, that's definitely not a yellow card. And he knows better. You're the captain. You're supposed to be a leader, and you make a stupid foul like that in the right at the beginning of the second half, and then you're complaining the fact that you've been given a yellow card and you've got sent off. Like, you knew that that was the case. This referee was card happy. He was handing out yellow cards like they were candy. Just be careful. Don't give away stupid fouls like that. Don't be doing stuff like that. And he's got sent off, and like random guy says, he's been sent off 3 times in 3 different competitions, and it's not good enough. Not good enough, not just for as a captain, but as a United player. You've got to be smarter than that. You have to be smarter than that. And I just think absolutely terrible decision. And I'm serious worries about Bruno Fernandes now. Like, I think he could well go out the door with Rashford in the summer. I really think he could, because the performances he's put in this season have been appalling, and that's another example of it. Chivy, I really hope we don't protest Bruno's red cards and he misses next game. He needs to sit out for a bit. He does. He needs to sit out for a bit, but you know he's not gonna, because as soon as he's off his suspension, he's gonna end up back in the team. I really hope we can invest in January. Tim99, I wouldn't count on it, Tim. Honest to God, like the way I read an article from the Athletic saying PSR we passed by like the skin of our teeth. So money is not a point at this point. Like we don't have any, so I don't see that happening. Random guy in your out. I mean, they're not making good decisions. They made this is not. Some of this is on Ineos because obviously they backed Ten Hag in the summer, but this is years and years of like poor squad management, poor transfers, poor development, all that sort of stuff. This is going back years and years. So this is not just part of it is on Ineos, but not the majority. Big game player, Onana out. To be fair to the man, he can't be anything but a ball frustration at this point. If I was as good as him, I'd be ripping with the jokers around me. Is that in reference to Bruno B-Doc? Looked better down to 10 fresh legs on. I mean, it looked better in like the last 5 minutes when they sat back. Like they sat back for the thing to defend their lead and then ended up countering. Cunha like unselfishly passes it to Huang Li Chan and 2-0, innit? And it's over. On the goal, is it a foul on Onana? I mean, it looks like obstruction, but again, why are 3 players allowed to surround the goalie and grab hold of him? Why isn't there no United players getting involved there and trying to break that up and getting in between them to protect Onana and protect the goalie? Like, why is none of them doing that? It's totally on Onana. Like, you shouldn't be getting a ball straight from a corner again, 2 weeks in a row, 2 different goalies. Like, that shouldn't be happening. That's ridiculous. But the lack of desire, the lack of mentality, lack of fight from our players to go protect their goalie to prevent this happening, to prevent them to getting crowded on. Because that's just going to be the plan now. Anytime a team gets a corner, they're just going to aim it straight from the corner into the net and just put 2-3 players on the goalie and just sort of smash him, and then that'll be it. That'll be the new thing. It's a joke at this point. I'm just looking for some quotes and stuff. There's anything. Manchester United have failed to score in 7 of their 18 games. Only Southampton and Everton have done worse in the Premier League this season. And you can see where Everton and Southampton are at the minute. I think Chivy said in our group chat, the only teams we're better at Leicester and Southampton, because I think they're the only 2 teams we've beaten convincingly in the Premier League. Like, and they're in relegation scrap. Oh. Yeah. Really, really annoyed me, that. Really, really annoyed me. Game plan to play United is so simple right now. Bully the players bit, lean in with shoulders, ruffle the feathers, force them to react emotionally, take advantage, do the same thing with set pieces. Yeah. Our game, like, to beat United is really simple, especially with these players that we have. Like, the quality is appalling. It's so low from every single one of these players. Like, we not only we bring players in who look great in other teams and ruin them, we then get players who we hype up to be great and they're just not. They're just not. Like, they're poor. They're really, really poor. It's really disappointing, man. Like, I think playing with fullbacks, like defensively minded fullbacks in Dallo, who I think again had another poor game, and he's had quite a lot of poor games the last sort of 6-7 games, I would say. And Mazraoui not having that attacking outlet just made that left hand side dead. Dallo and Bruno just weren't working together. Mazraoui with Ahmad just wasn't working. Hoyland's getting 0 service again. There was a point where I think Ahmad cuts in to take a shot and he's blocked, and he's surrounded by 3 Wolves players and gets blocked, and you see Hoyland get visibly frustrated that he isn't getting the cutback. Kobe Mainoo was poor, gave the ball away a lot, just wasn't effective in defensively or in the final third. Defenders, I mean, Yoro looked average. Maguire tried, but again, he was let down by other people. Lissandro didn't do anything. I think Agate is the only one who sort of looked anything sort of short of quality. Like, and he still wasn't like outstanding, but he was the only one that I thought, yeah, he's got something. He can do things. I just think yeah, it's poor all over the pitch. It really, really is. And I don't see where we turn this around without transfers, without player recruitment. And from what I'm led to believe, there's not going to be anything coming in January. And if there is, it's going to be a loan, or it's going to be like emergency type things. It's not going to be a Quenda or people like that where you think, I don't think it's going to be people like that. Going to be at least as someone who see drastic changes. 8% in this team isn't good enough, and need replacing. Absolutely, Brian, 100%. I think most of the squad's going to be put up for sale. Like, I don't see who we can keep and who can sort of push up and be that sort of starters who will put in 100% effort and play to the ability and to the level that we need to sort of get us out of this mess. Jason's saying may need to play Garnacho or Anthony at wing backs and Casa, Ugarte and pivots, bin Bruno. Well, Bruno and Ugarte are out against Newcastle with suspension, so that's not going to be an option. I don't want to see Garnacho in the wing back position. I just don't think he defends well enough, and Anthony's a terrible player. He's an awful player, so do that. If Rashford and Casemiro are sold in January, I could see some players bought. Yeah, I mean, if they are sold in January, I don't see them being sold in January because the wages they are on, I think, what they're on 300. Rashford's on 375k a week. I imagine Casemiro's on what, 325, 350, something around that. So getting those wages off the books is going to be next to impossible, especially in January when people are very, very sort of cautious about buying players in January. So I don't see them going in January. If they did, and it's a Christmas miracle that we get in January, great, fantastic. But can we keep Amorim? No way he stays willingly. I think he knows the issues. Maybe he wasn't aware of how bad it was, but now he definitely is now. I think maybe he's waiting to the summer to see if he does get backed and he gets the players in that he needs to play the system and gets rid of the players that are clearly an issue and not playing well enough here. Like, I think he's going to wait for that. Like, but yeah, I think we need to buckle up. I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. I think it's going to get a lot worse, sadly. People were saying, oh, we've reached the bottom, we've reached this, like, you can't get it. It's definitely going to get worse. It's going to be a long season. Yeah, random guy. It's going to be a long ride, mate. It's not going to get any better anytime soon. Ruben Amorim's been speaking. Of course, when you lose, when we don't win, it's a step back really hard with sending off. The goal was similar against Tottenham. We tried, even one less guy. We tried to, and I think we was near something, but then Wolves scored the second one. In the end, we tried everything. The transition was 2-0 for us. Let's continue. And if this point to concede a similar goal, yes, against Tottenham, it's the same. Onana cannot go to the ball, I think. If he thinks it's a foul on Onana, I think he cannot go to the ball. He's trying to reach, and some guys are not even looking at the ball. But I don't want to focus on that. I think the good thing is we were near the goal, even with 10 men. That is a good thing, but we lost. I think he's trying to not to hook his players under the bus, because I think if I was the manager, I'd definitely be throwing him under the bus. Brian Casey, only saving grace is that Amorim be given time. Is Ineos' man? They will back him. Yeah, they'll give him plenty of time, and they'll get rid of the players. We've seen with Rashford, like, they've left the decision in his hands to play him or don't play him or do what he sees fit with it. So yeah, they'll definitely give him time. The signings: Anthony, Casemiro, Højlund, Mount, Sancho, Van der Beek. That's around 400 million spent in the last half decade, where Man United haven't got anywhere near value for money. That is already such a hard thing to overcome when trying to rebuild amidst PSR. So that pretty much sums up the mess we're in, like buying players that have not worked out and we've not been able to sell for any sort of value, and then we've got PSR restrictions. Can't spend our way and buy quality players to replace them. Yeah, I'm just going to see if there's any more sort of quotes. Yeah, the next three fixtures for United. United at home to Newcastle, which they look great, so that could be a definite battering. At Anfield away, which we're going to see a repeat of 7-0 here, because that could be a very bad day. And then Arsenal in the FA Cup, which I think Chivy is very much looking forward to. That is, yeah, that's going to be That's going to be a bad day. Owen Hargreaves has spoken out. The only saving grace is they've got a really good manager, but it's going to be a lot harder than they thought. I think speaking about Ruben Amorim, they have to give him time. He's a good manager, but they don't have the personnel needs at the moment. Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. Ugarte out of the Newcastle game. Thank you, Ruud van Nistelrooy, for the Ugarte Casemiro partnership. Okay. Elite baller, when we beat City, no one says Ineos out. When our idiotic captain gets sent off after 2 minutes in the second half, it's Ineos' fault. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Elite baller, it's very weird. Would you take Qatar right now? Absolutely not. I didn't want Qatar in the beginning. I don't want Qatar now. We could be relegated, and I don't want a state-owned club ever. As long as I'm a fan, I don't want it. Hammering on Marcus Rashford, if he's shown anything, this is leaving him out. If he's not here, you can make your mind up. There you go. I think we're always in control of the game, not always dominating, but in control of some things. Some set pieces are sending off was really hard for us. Yeah, it's annoying when your own captain lets you down, isn't it? We have to improve the relationships, but we have some moments. We lack a little bit of aggression, a little bit, Ruben. I think a lot. But we don't train. We just play and trying to find a better way to win games. We cannot control the games like the other ones we lost. Yeah, people are already turning against Amorim. Fucking ridiculous. Absolutely fucking. Just enjoyed 90 minutes in the fans are not happy, which I don't blame him. Ruben Aaron asked how long the tough period will last. Said I've got no idea. Spent 600 million under Ten Hag, and the squad looks like this. Don't think there is any other club who comes anywhere near United when it comes to wasting money. We need to improve it massively while being skint. There you go. There you go. Eriksen, Casemiro play well when they came on. I feel sorry they've been thrown out by the manager, but there's no future with Casemiro and Eriksen. Eriksen's leaving at the end of the season. His contract's up, so there's no future there. Casemiro is obviously being pushed out because of the wage that he's on, and he's what 32, 33. So again, there's no future in that. He needs a team to build, and they're not part of the future in the building him. So, there's no point. Amorim has nothing to do with our demise. Absolutely, random guy. Absolutely. To the hell with our future. We are 14th. Yeah, this is the thing though. There's gonna be a lot of short-term pain, and it's gonna be a horrible, horrible season until he gets his team. And until he gets his team, this is what it's going to be like. It's just going to be terrible. Bruno is 30. Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point now where I would sell Bruno, with Rashford and these other players. I would sell Bruno. I think he's detrimental at this point, and yeah, I'm in agreement with that. Got 4 more minutes. If you want to chuck any more comments, any more opinions and stuff like that, we'll wrap up with that. Kobe Manu limping in through the mix zone. Hopefully it's fatigue. Yeah. It's always the same reason. We have to be professionals. Same guys, winning or losing. I have to be stronger. I will continue with my idea to the end. From Ruben Amorim. Nearly a month on now from when he said there's a storm coming. It will come. Yeah, that's where we're at. We're in the storm. We're in the actual storm right now. We're not through it yet. People thought when there was a couple of blips at the beginning, you thought that was it. No, this is it right now. Losing to Wolves, who have struggled all season. Losing to Bournemouth, who, to be fair to them, are a very good team. Probably going to lose to Newcastle. Definitely going to lose to Liverpool, and then definitely lose to Arsenal in the FA Cup. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough, tough period. Random guy, thanks United for amazing parent. Yeah. Thanks United. Kids crying. Christmas ruined. Yeah. It's been a terrible, terrible day. City drawing, and you thought, oh, this might be a decent day. And then you look to Liverpool, have got Leicester. They'll probably put, 8 past them, plus past Rude, which is sad. And we lost in a terrible, terrible game. So, yeah, it's not been the greatest Boxing Day in the world, has it? Amorim can help the team by not playing a 2-man midfield. Happy St. Stephen's Day, everyone. Happy St. Stephen's Day to the Irish people in the room. Yeah, thank you guys for joining me on a relatively short sort of review. I know I didn't sort of go into detail about stuff, but to be honest with you, that was a really depressing game. United have lost 2-0. Goals from Cunha and Huang Li Chan. Bruno sent off. Yeah. Follow us on all the socials. Check out videos coming out tomorrow. If Nick's well enough, he'll do pros and cons. There'll be some news stuff. Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, TikTok, all the good stuff. They're all links are in the description. Go follow us on there. Appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you for your opinions. Thank you for your chat. I appreciate you guys showing up every single week, even when United don't fucking show up to the games. But yeah, thanks for coming on. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Peace.